Hello gang, congratulations, you've made it to week 6 of our 6-week or 6 installment strength and conditioning program for you runners or not runners that you've been doing at home. Thank you very much for participating. We've had a great time making these videos. Hopefully you've had as much fun doing them as Lindsay and I have had making them. Thank you for all the feedback. We've gotten a lot of great emails, a lot of great comments. That has really helped us evolve the program between week 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, 5 and 6. Continue to send us information, continue to send us feedback. That'll help us do a better job of pushing more content out that will be useful to you. The best ways to send us information, either send us emails at pace@taipt.com. That is one way. Another way is to respond through our Portland Pace Network. All of these videos will continue to live for years on the Portland Pace Network, and that is portlandpacenetwork.com. So you can access all these videos there. You can also email us directly through that website. So that's another way you can contact with us and communicate with us. If there's anything that you really feel like you would like, if you would like another program, if you would like more information, if you would like something very specific, like more information about foot health, Achilles health, whatever it is, send us information, and when we find time, we'll just continue to push all of that information and content to you. All of that information will live on our Portland Pace Network website. If you've not already been there, I encourage you to go check it out. Not only will all of these videos live there into the future, but we have a lot of other information about strength and conditioning, injury prevention, performance optimization. We have interviews with some of the best runners in the world that we've done here within our facility. So it's a great resource. We'll continue to add to it based on what you ask us for the things that you want. And as I said, all of these videos will end up living there. All right, so week 6, we'll do a quick orientation, then we'll get to work. So as we have talked about, we've been progressing from week 1 to week 2 to week 3 to week 4 to week 5 to week 6. Week 6 is the last week of our strength and conditioning program, or the 6th installment if you've been doing these for multiple weeks each. We've already talked about the pyramid, so we're not going to talk about that much more. Because none of us really have a race in the future, because there are no races for another couple of months, we're not going to actually replicate this month 6, which is a little bit of functional work and all power with no strength. And with lower volume. Instead, we're going to really kind of fashion week 6 after what month 4 might look like for a lot of my professional runners, where we still do some functional work, but it's at a little bit of a lower proportion than we did even in week 5. We're still going to do some strength work, and we're going to still do some power work in about equal proportions. So the dynamic flexibility today will be similar to week 5, but we make it even more dynamic, more plyometric, more ballistic. So we're going to get your heart rate up quicker within the dynamic warm-up routine. It'll be a little bit more challenging. When we get to the second component of our program, the hips and the core, that will look similar to week 5 as well. We throw in a couple of other elements. We keep the work rate pretty high. So the hips and core will look similar to week 5 with a little bit more flair. When we get to the functional work is going to be a little bit less today because we have a lot of strength and a lot of power. So we're going to give you a couple of new functional exercises that look similar to what we have built between week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But we add a little bit more of a challenge because we start to integrate some unstable surface work, which I think you're going to find really challenging. The strength is going to be similar to what we have done previously, but slightly different flavor. And then the power work is going to be a little bit more robust than what we did in week 5. So make sure that you're ready for the program. This one is really, really challenging. Lindsay told me after we filmed week 6 that she felt like she was getting a really good workout. She feels like week 6 was far more challenging than week 5, and that week 5 was more challenging than week 4. And that's great to know. That's been our intention, is as you get stronger and fitter and more capable, that we just continue to increase the challenge so that we're kind of meeting you where you're at. If you feel like you're not totally ready to move from week 5 to week 6, then stay with week 5 for another week or 2 weeks until you feel like you're ready for some new challenges and some new adaptations. So that is it. We'll get to work. One other thing, Lindsay has some stuff that she's going to add today just for creativity. She's for each one of our segments, she's pulling off one of the jerseys from our walls. We have a lot of jerseys on our wall in the clinic from a lot of the professional athletes that we've worked with over the years. So for each one of these segments, she's going to wear a different jersey. We thought that would be fun. She thought that it would be fun. So we hope you enjoy that. Thank you all very much for participating. Give us feedback, and we hope that you really enjoy this last installment of the 6-week program.
Week 6.
You heard it, ladies and gentlemen. We're in week 6, dynamic flexibility. Lyndsay has decided that she is going to wear a different jersey for each one of these segments this week.
I am.
We have in the clinic, we have jerseys from a lot of the athletes that we've worked with over the years. So who are you wearing right now?
Matt Centrowitz.
And what's one defining characteristic of him? Like what did he do that was really big in the last Olympics?
Played a lot of video games.
He played a lot of video games. He also won the gold medal in 2016 Rio in the 1500 meters.
True.
So dynamic warm-up today. In week 5, we started to increase the kind of our rate of kind of how we were going through the exercises. We added some ballistic and some dynamic exercises, or a little bit more dynamic and plyometric. So today we're going to continue in that vein, and we're going to start with some dynamic plyometric exercises, and then we're going to kind of work through a similar format that we did last time. We're going to work for 20 seconds, and we're going to have very little, if not zero, transition times. So we're going to do jog in place first. Lindsay's going to keep track of our time. 20 seconds, jogging in place. Let's get those knees a little bit higher. So trying to get our heart rate up, trying to get our core temperature up. So you're probably going to start to feel like your heart rate's getting higher and your core temperature's getting higher and your respiratory rate's getting higher even earlier in the dynamic warm-up this week, in week 6. So get the knees a little bit higher. Let's try to get that work rate up. We're going to go for 20 seconds. Lindsay's keeping track. She's very motivated wearing Matt Centrowitz's jersey.
I feel powerful. Okay.
20 seconds. Now we're going to do mini pogo jumps. So we're going to do 10 seconds of mini pogo jumps. Then we're going to do 10 seconds of large pogo jumps. So 10 seconds through, she is going to transition from these low pogo jumps to some high pogo jumps. Here we go. 10 seconds, high pogo jumps. You're going to feel this through the calves. If you start to feel any pain or tightness in the Achilles, then back off. After 10 seconds, we're going to go into mini jumps. So mini jumps. Just little jumps. Little jumps. We're going to do 10 seconds of little jumps, straight into 10 seconds of larger jumps. So make sure that we keep our knees over our feet. Don't let the knees dive in. Those are cues that we've been giving you over the course of the last 5 weeks. And after 10 seconds, Lindsay's going to jump a little bit higher. She's driving her pelvis up and forward as she's jumping, so she's not keeping her hips back. She's jumping up, driving the pelvis forward. That's going to help you get the glutes involved. We're doing this for 10 seconds of that 20-second interval. And now we are doing knee to chest, heel to butt. So let's face one way or the other. So we're adding 2 together. So we've been doing knee to chest as one exercise. We've been doing heel to butt as another exercise. Now we're going to add them together. We're going to do knee to chest, heel to butt, and try to keep that foot off the ground. So knee to chest, heel to butt, so that we're increasing the balance challenge on that standing leg. We're going to do this for 20 seconds. Make sure you stay up nice and tall. Pull the knee to your chest. Don't pull your chest down to your knee. Make sure that heel comes back to your butt. Do this, and after 20 seconds, we're going to go into the crossover. We're going to do 2 bounces. So we're going to bounce right off in front. Then we're going to bounce to the leg behind us. So let's face the camera. And bounce, bounce. Then we're going to come up and switch. Bounce, bounce. Come up and switch. Doing this for 20 seconds. So we're bouncing straight ahead and then bouncing off to the leg that's behind us. That's going to slightly stretch some different fibers of the hamstrings. And after 20 seconds, we're going to go into lunge, reach, and rotate. So big lunge, big reach up high, big rotate over that front leg. And then we're going to switch. Big lunge, going to stretch in the front of the hip flexor. Big reach, big rotate. Lindsay's rotating the best this week that she has all 6 weeks.
You heard it here first.
She's been working on the program. Big lunge, big rotation. Make sure that you're breathing. Big lunge, big rotation. We're doing these for 20 seconds. And then we're going to the triangle stretch. So big lunge, putting the hand down next to the foot, rotating up, trying to get the fingers up to the ceiling. Then we're going to unrotate, come back up, switch lunge positions, hand down. Rotate, make sure you're breathing. And you can push into that hand that's down to help open up your chest. You should start to feel this in the back of the left hip here in this instance. Start to get a little bit of a glute stretch involved. Still working on that thoracic and that lumbar rotation to the right and to the left. And after that, we're going up to the wall. We're doing calf wall stretches. So putting the foot up against the wall, the heel is down, just driving the pelvis into the wall, hold for a second, switch, heel down, drive into the wall, You're gonna feel a big stretch down the back of your calf. You might feel a little bit of a stretch up into your hamstring. That's okay. We're doing this for 20 seconds. And then we do front swings. So let's come up here against the wall. We're gonna do front swings, 20 seconds each way. Swing that leg front and back. Try to keep your chest up nice and tall. Don't swing so far forward that you start to hunch. You want to keep everything from your pelvis up, nice and silent. You're gonna feel this through the hip flexor a little bit when the leg comes back. You're gonna feel it through the hamstring when it comes up. We're doing 20 seconds, one leg, then we're gonna switch. And we're gonna do 20 seconds of the other leg. After that, we're going to face the wall and do lateral swings. So now the leg is swinging across midline. Trying to get the leg up nice and high when it comes out to your side. Rotate the pelvis a little bit as you swing it across midline. You're going to feel this probably through your adductors a little bit. You might feel it through the glutes a little bit. We're going to swing 20 seconds one leg, and then we're going to switch and swing 20 seconds of the other leg. Lyndsy's looking pretty good today. She's motivated by that Matt Centrowitz jersey. And she's probably been doing her exercises. She's tired of getting ridiculed by me on the videos.
Took 6 weeks.
It only took 6 weeks.
Okay.
And lunge to wall drive. So we do alternating lunge to wall drive. So this is something that we had done previously as a strength exercise. We're going to add into the dynamic warm-up. So she's going to lunge, drive up to the wall, then switch legs, reach back, drive up and into the wall. We're going to do this for 20 seconds. She's thinking about being quick as she drives up into the wall. She's not holding her breath. At this point, you should feel like you're starting to maybe sweat a little bit, or at least your heart rate and your respiratory rate is getting higher. And mountain climber is going to be in a front plank position. And for 20 seconds, we're going to bring knee to elbow, knee to elbow, knee to elbow. You can do this as quickly as you feel comfortable. Don't go so fast that it deteriorates your form. Your form has always got to be the most important thing. Once your form is good, you can start to increase the speed. So Lyndsy's going to work on this for 20 seconds. She's keeping track of the time. And then she's going to stand and do dino walks, which is a hamstring flexibility exercise. She's going to kick one leg forward and then hinge down, touch the foot, and then switch, kick, touch. So this is getting the hamstring of the leg that you kick forward, and then it's getting the hamstring of the leg that you're bending down over. Alternating left, right, left, right. We're going to work for 20 seconds total, so we'll do about 10 seconds on each side. This is going to start to challenge your balance as well because we're staying on that one foot the entire time. We're not taking a break before we hinge forward. We're kicking, staying balanced, coming straight forward. 20 seconds of those.
Okay.
High knees. So similar to the runners that we did initially, but now we are intentionally bringing the knees a little bit higher to our chest. Trying to stay on your midfoot so you're not crashing back onto your heel. Keep your chest open, keep your shoulders back. Swing your arms. We're doing this for 20 seconds. And then we're doing butt kickers. Face right or left so they can see your amazing form. There we go. Look at that amazing form. Heels are coming high to the butt, just staying up nice and tall, not letting your butt sag back. So you want to keep your pelvis up underneath you and swing those heels up to your butt. Back and forth. Lyndsy's breathing pretty hard. 20 seconds. Then A skips. We added the A skips and the C skips last time. We're going to end with the A skips and the C skips this time. Kind of a skip, you're double tapping on each foot, getting that knee nice and high, thinking about attacking the ground a little bit after the legs have been up in the air. Doing this for 20 seconds. And then we're doing C skips. This must be working. She's starting to breathe really hard. So knee up in front, knee out to the side, knee up in front, knee out to the side. It'll take a little bit of time to really coordinate your arm swing with this, but you'll get it. Do this for 20 seconds, and then dynamic warm-up is over. And then strike a finishing pose. Work. There you go. Next jersey. So now we're going
Oh, yeah.
into hip and core strength, but Lyndsay, how's on our next jersey? You want to introduce what we're looking at now?
We're looking at Seguru's Japan jersey.
Suguru Osaka. He is the Japanese national record holder in the marathon. He's actually broken twice in the last probably year to 18 months. All right, so I'll give you a little orientation of what this is going to look like. This is going to be a little bit different than last week. Some of the same elements. We bring in a couple of elements that we did in earlier weeks. We're going to keep the work rate really high, and we're going to segment this a little bit differently. We're going to do some standing hip exercises without any breaks first. Then we're going to go into some front plank core variations, probably 3 different exercises. We'll do a very quick exercise to transition out of that into our hamstring series that we did last week. So we have our hamstring sliders back here ready for us. That's similar to what we did last week. Then we're going to get on our backs and do 3 anterior core, kind of sagittal plane core exercises, 30 seconds each. Then a quick transition exercise. Then we're going to get into our side plank series, which will integrate both lateral core and our hip strength. So we're going to keep the work rate relatively high. Make sure that you have your bands. Make sure that you have whatever you use to do your sliders. If you want to use a weight for some of the core work, then grab a weight. Lyndsay has a weight back here. And while you guys grab all of your things, all of your accoutrement, Lyndsay's going to tell us a dad joke.
Okay, I've been preparing for this one all week. Okay, so I went to Jamaica, and pies in Jamaica cost $2.50, and in the Bahamas a pie costs $3. I guess these are the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I crushed it!
Nailed it. She was nervous about
I was really nervous about that one.
All right, let's get the band around our knees. So what we're going to do first, I'll give you a little orientation to this small cluster. We're going to do 20 standing clamshells, straight into 20 side steps. So we're going to stay in place and do 20 side steps. We're going to do that each leg, and then we're going to bring the band down around our ankles and do 20 standing Jane Fondas. Got it?
Yeah.
Let's go. Standing clamshells. We're going to do a set of 20. Lyndsay's going to keep track of how many we're doing. She's getting nice separation between her knees, making sure that she's kicking out and back at a little bit of a diagonal. She's going to feel this working in her glutes. She's keeping her chest up. She's breathing really well, trying to make sure that knee stays right over her foot so the knee isn't diving in towards midline as the tension of the band increases. After she does a set of 20, she's going to stay in that squat position and do side steps. Reach, reach, reach. So we're still using that stability leg. We're using the glutes on that leg to drive out. We're still using the glutes on the mobility leg, the moving leg, to reach out. So we're doing 20 and 20. After she does 20 of these, she's going to go straight into balancing on the right leg and kicking the left knee out to the standing clamshells, and then straight from that into those lateral reaches on the left side. So again, keeping the work rate high. We're not giving you any breaks. You're going to start feeling a lot of burning through your glutes. That's okay. That's the goal. Make sure that you're breathing. Make sure that you keep your spine nice and erect. Don't hunch forward. Don't lean back excessively. Try not to lean or shift to the side. Everything from the pelvis up should stay nice and silent and stable. So she's done with the 20 clamshells. Now she's doing those 20 reach outs. And when she's done with the reach outs, she's going to go down and bring the band right down around her ankles and start doing those kickbacks. No breaks. And when she does the kickbacks, she's going to make sure that she keeps that stable leg nice and stable. She's going to kick back, and she's not going to let the moving leg touch the ground at all the entire series. So she's going to do 20 kickbacks, trying to stay balanced on that left leg, keeping her chest up nice and tall, legs coming back at an angle at about 45 degrees, not purely out, not purely back, about 45 degrees, split that difference. She's going to do a set of 20 and then switch and do a set of 20. She's going to feel this probably definitely in the moving leg. She's going to also likely feel it in the stability leg. So if you feel like you're feeling a lot of effort in the leg that's stabilizing and maybe more effort in that leg than the leg that's moving, that's totally fine. One of the goals of this exercise is to take the glute strength that you've been developing and integrate it into your ability to maintain stability on that leg. So the glute of the stable leg should be working really hard.
Yeah.
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 All right. So we're gonna get into the front plank series, no breaks. Let's get down on elbows and toes, and we're gonna bring knees to elbows, 30 seconds. Lyndsay just looked at her clock. She's not gonna do any more than 30 seconds because she knows this is a long workout today. And we have a lot of strength and a lot of power and some more complicated functional exercise we're gonna do today. So she's not gonna do any more work than she really needs to. We will take a 10-second break in between this exercise. I will describe the next exercise for the 10-second break, and then we'll go right into it. This one's going to be star rotation. So we're going to be in a plank position. Our feet are going to be wide. We're going to reach up toward the ceiling. We're going to come down, and the elbow should barely touch, and then come straight back up. Barely touch, come straight back up. As you bring the elbow down, don't leave your pelvis open. You have to bring the pelvis back down and think about that hot cup of coffee right on your sacrum. We're going to do 30 seconds one direction, break for 10, and then do 30 seconds the other direction. This one's really challenging. I don't think that we've done this one yet. This takes a lot of core strength. It takes a lot of core control. It takes good strength endurance. So she's going to do 30 seconds. We'll take a 10-second break, and then we'll do the other way. If you feel like you can only go for 20 seconds, just go for 20 seconds. We'll have Lyndsay tell you when 20 seconds is next time.
That was done.
That was 30 seconds.
That was 30.
So after 10 seconds, we're going to do the other side. Lyndsay will tell you now when it's 20 seconds. And again, challenge yourself, but don't work beyond your body's capabilities at this point. So she's getting that elbow nice and high, putting that elbow directly toward the ceiling. As she's bringing that elbow back around, she's bringing her pelvis back around. That's great. That's one of the hardest parts of the exercise. It takes a lot of strength and control.
That's 20.
That's 20 seconds. We have 10 more seconds of this. Then we're going to get a 10-second break. And then we're going to go into those bird dogs that we played with last week. And last week we played with 3 different variations of the bird dog. So choose the one that you are most comfortable with. Lyndsay's going to do the ones where she's probably in a full plank position to an opposite arm leg. That's the hardest variation. We're going to do it for 30 seconds. Lyndsay's breathing pretty hard, but she's inspired by the Suguru Osaka jersey.
Thank you, Suguru.
So 30 seconds. Remember some of the variations. One was just being on hands and knees, doing an alternate arm leg. Another was being in that plank position, doing shoulder, shoulder, lift, lift.
That's 20.
That's 20 seconds. This is the hardest variation. Lyndsay's starting to lose control. Then after this exercise, we're going to go straight down, no breaks, and we're going to do some Supermans. This is going to challenge a lot of the muscles in the back of our body, which should be relatively fresh because we're just challenging everything in the front of our body. So we're going to do 30 seconds of these Supermans.
Make sure you keep your neck tucked too, and don't look up.
Yeah, so keep your nose and your eyes down towards the ground. Don't look up. That'll put a little bit of a crease in your neck and could cause a little bit of pain and tightness. So keep your nose to the ground, but don't bang your nose off the ground. That's also not a good thing to do.
Good.
Cool. All right, so take a little break. We're going to transition over into our slider drills. So we're going to do 20 seconds of single leg eccentrics on each side, 20 seconds of the floor polishers, and then another 20 seconds of eccentrics on each side, and then another 20 seconds of floor polishers. So when Lyndsay is recovered and recuperated, she will start, and that lets you know that you're on the hook as well and you need to start. So here she goes. She's pressing up in the air. She's sliding that foot away from her. The further the heel gets away, the more tension and tone is going to be in the hamstring. If you feel like you can't get all the way out before you drop the pelvis, then get out as far as feels comfortable, then drop the pelvis, then reload. Lyndsay will tell us when it's been 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's 10.
It's been 10 seconds, and then she's going to tell us when it's been 20 seconds. And at 20 seconds, we're going to switch and do the other side.
20.
20. So we're going to switch, do the other side. Make sure that you're kind of slow and smooth as you kick that heel out away from your body. Don't go really fast. One of the goals here is to maintain strength as we lengthen that hamstring muscle. We know that that's an imperative attribute of the hamstrings when we're running, is they need to be able to maintain strength as they lengthen in the front side of our mechanics.
20.
That's 20. So now we're going to go into the floor polishers where we have something under each heel. We're just going back and forth. You can go as quick as you would like to, as long as it doesn't deteriorate your form. Make sure you keep that hot cup of coffee right on your belly button so that doesn't spill one way or the other. I'd recommend not to actually use a hot cup of coffee. That's just an analogy. We're gonna do this for 20 seconds, then we'll take a little bit of a break, maybe 10 or 20 seconds. Maybe time for another dad joke if we have another one. You have another dad joke?
I do, but I gotta think about it.
All right.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
So we're gonna take about a 20-second break here to let the hamstrings recover. Lyndsay's not equipped to tell 2 dad jokes apparently in one series.
Go.
And here we go, we're gonna go straight into it again. So another 20 seconds. Lyndsy's gonna tell us when we hit 10 seconds. In case that's all you wanna do at this point, you can build up to 20 seconds over the course of this week or 2 or 3 weeks, however long you're doing these installments.
That's 10.
That's 10. So we have 10 more seconds if you wanna go for the entire 20.
Done.
And then she's gonna switch. So we have 10 to 20 seconds on this other side. Then we're gonna have one more series of 20 seconds of the floor polishers. And then we're gonna go into some of the core that we do when we're laying on our back. She'll tell us when it's 10, so that's been 10 seconds. We have 10 more seconds.
Done.
Fantastic, and we're gonna go into the floor polishers, no break. If you need to go a little bit slower this round, go a little bit slower, that's totally fine. If you wanna go fast, then go fast. Make sure you're breathing, make sure you're paying attention to that hot cup of coffee. Nice big range of motion, so not just short little slides. You wanna really polish that floor.
Done.
And done. So now we're gonna roll, let's do a nice fancy roll onto the mat. There we go.
Can you give me the weight?
So we'll take a little bit of a break in between the hamstring work and the core work. So the 3 exercises we're gonna do in this position, we're gonna do the flutter kicks, 30 seconds, 10 seconds off, crisscross, 30 seconds, 10 seconds off, and then we're gonna do the last one, split crunch, 30 seconds, 10 seconds off. So when Lyndsay's ready, she's gonna start, which means that you need to start as well from the comfort of your own home. So flutter kicks. So she's
sorry,
keeping that-
crisscross.
Yeah,
Flutter.
so flutter kicks. So keep that weight nice and high. Try to keep those shoulders off the ground. Keep the head up a little bit. There we go. Lyndsay was cheating for the first 5 seconds.
You didn't see it.
That's okay. That lets you know that you can get away with cheating every once in a while as long as you have a correction. So she's keeping that weight nice and high. She's keeping her shoulders off the ground. She's keeping her back flat on the ground. She's kicking those legs back and forth. She's gonna feel this in her core for sure. She should feel it in her hip flexors as well. She's gonna go for 30 seconds. Tell us when it's 20.
It's been 20.
It's been 20. So we'll tell you when it's 20 seconds, and then we'll go for 30 seconds. So kind of gauge where you're at and how long you want to do this. Done. 10-second break. Next one, we're going to be in the exact same position. We're going to do crisscross.
3, 2, 1.
So crisscross, so now she's bringing her legs over midline. She has that weight nice and high. To make the exercise more challenging, if you have a weight over your head, you reach the weight back even further. So that's going to increase the amount of, Lyndsay doesn't like that. She's going straight over her head. So
Pacing myself.
She's pacing herself. She's working towards week 7. So the more that weight comes over your head, the more load you have in your core, the more your back's going to want to pop up off the ground. So find where you want to have that weight to really make it challenging. Lyndsay's doing some really deep breathing at this point. She couldn't even say done. She basically just exhaled and said done. So we'll take a little bit of a break here. We are going to do the swimmers. So we're going to roll. Oh, we have split crunch. I'm sorry. So after 10 seconds, we're going split crunch for 30 seconds.
2, 1.
So now we're bringing the shoulders way up off the ground, trying to reach toward those toes, alternating left and right, making sure that we're breathing. It's easy to try to hold our breath when we come up. Make sure that you're breathing. Would you prefer them breathing out when they come up or in? Lyndsay?
Out.
Breathe out when you come up. There's probably some magic that happens with the pelvic floor when you do that.
There
We'll just
is.
assume that's the truth. Hopefully everybody had a chance to go through and practice the pelvic floor work that we
20.
dropped last Wednesday. So about 5 more seconds or so.
Good, done.
And we're gonna roll right to our stomach and do swimmers, no breaks. Get rid of your weight. Swimmers for 30 seconds. Lyndsay's gonna tell us when we hit 20. She'll tell us when we hit 30. So she's doing that breaststroke, keeping her hands up off the ground. She just looked at her watch, it was probably 5 seconds. She's struggling. Keep those legs kicking. You're gonna feel this in the glutes and the hamstrings. You're gonna feel it in your low back. You're gonna feel it between your shoulders. This is getting all those muscles through the entire posterior chain.
20 seconds.
Of your body, that's been 20 seconds. We have 10 more. And after this, we're gonna go into our side plank position. And after that, we're gonna be done. So we'll take a little bit of a break. So the 3 exercises we're doing, we're gonna do side plank Jane Fondas with the legs coming up and back, 30 seconds each side, 10-second breaks. We're gonna do that side plank rotation where we're holding the weight. Are you gonna use this weight for that, or you want a different weight?
I'll use that weight.
Okay. So she'll use this weight apparently. And then the third one is gonna be a side plank runner, which we will explain when we get to it. So when Lindsay's ready, we're gonna get up into the side plank. We're gonna do those Jane Fondas or lateral leg lifts. So she's kicking up and back. So she's not kicking straight up in the air. Leg is coming behind the plane of her body. We're doing this for 30 seconds. She'll tell us when we hit 20.
On my knees.
So she is doing a regression. She's coming into a short plank. She's coming down onto her knee instead of being in the full plank position. That's totally fine.
It's 20 seconds.
That's 20. We're gonna do 30 seconds. If you wanna do a short plank, do a short plank. If you wanna do the long plank, do the long plank. There's plenty of time to do progressions. So if you need to do a regression, do a regression. 10-second break, then we're gonna go into the other side. And here we go, 30 seconds. Lindsay will tell us when it's been 20 seconds. If you want to start in the long plank position and then transition to the short plank like Lindsay did last time, it's totally fine.
It's 20.
20 seconds. We have 10 more. Then we have a 10-second break.
Good.
And we're going to come back to the other side. We're going to take a break for a little bit. You can do this one from the long plank or the short plank position as well. It's not going to work if you need a different one.
I think we can do it. It'll be tough.
Fancy. All right. So we're going to start in the long plank position. Did we not start yet?
No, we can start.
Right,
we're going.
All right, here we go. 30 seconds. As I said, you can go from the long plank position. You can go from the short plank position. Lindsay might do some from the long and then transition to the short. That's totally fine. So she's rotating the weight down towards the ground, and then she's rotating up, pressing toward the ceiling. Doing this for 30 seconds. She'll tell us when it's been 20. This one's really challenging.
That's 20.
That's 20. Lindsay's going for the full 30 seconds in the long plank position. She's feeling tough.
Week 6.
Week 6.
Week 6.
Gotta bring your A game to week 6.
Yeah. Done.
Sweet. 10-second break. We're gonna transition to the other side. Put the weight in the other hand. After 10 seconds, Lindsay will start, which lets everybody know that you're on the clock for 30 seconds. She'll tell us when it's been 20 seconds. And here we go. So make sure that when you bring that weight down, you're also rotating. You can tell that Lindsay's rotating as she brings the weight down and then counter-rotating when she brings the weight up. Pressing that weight nice and high toward the ceiling, keeping the weight straight over her shoulder. Making sure that she's breathing, making sure she's keeping that glute nice and high off the ground so she's not sagging down.
That's 20.
That's 20. We have 10 more seconds.
Oh. Done.
A lot of breathing here from Lindsay. And the last one is going to be a lateral plank runner. So Lindsay will show us this during our 10-second break, and then we'll go for 30 seconds each. So you can do this from a high plank or a short plank position. You're just going to swing that top leg through running mechanics, making sure that you get good extension. So make sure you get that extension. There, you got to get extension. So take a break for a second. So we're going to go 30 seconds on, switch after a 10-second break and do 30 seconds, and then we are done with hips and core for today.
I'm going to do it in a short
And Lindsay's going to do it from the short plank position. So she's in a short plank and she's just cycling that leg through the running position, making sure that she's getting good extension when the leg comes behind her. That's going to get the glutes really active. She's going to tell us when it's been 20 seconds, and then we will go to 30 seconds. And again, you can do this from the short plank or the long plank. You can start in the long plank and then go down to the short plank once you fatigue.
20.
You have 10 more seconds. That's been 20.
And done.
And done. Rotate over, 10-second break. Last effort.
3, 2, 1.
And here we go. 30 seconds. Making sure that we're getting nice extension out of that moving leg. It's easy to kind of short change and not bring the leg into extension and try to keep everything in front of you. We really need to get comfortable getting that leg into extension. That's where we get a lot of our speed and our power when we're running.
20.
10 more seconds, and then we're going to move on to the next section.
3, 2, 1.
Awesome. Good job. Finishing pose. Give it to us. She's exhausted. We're moving on to balance and functional. We're not going to do a lot of these. We're only doing 2 exercises. We're doing the first one 2 sets. Second one, we're only doing 1 set. The second exercise, we're going to introduce some unstable surface. So we actually have a blue foam pad. You probably don't have one of these conveniently at your house, but what you can use is a cushion from your couch or 1 or 2 folded up bath towels. Just put them on the ground, and that's going to create some instability. That's going to make it harder for you to accomplish the exercise. We're not going to take a short rest between these, so we'll have enough time to explain the second exercise when we get to it. But just know that that's coming. So the first exercise is going to be a running man, which we'll explain. But first, I guess we have to introduce the jersey. Who are we wearing now?
We're wearing Mo Farah.
Mo Farah, the gold medal winner in the 5K and the 10K in the 2012 and 2016 Olympics. One of the best distance runners of all time, and a long time friend of ours.
Yeah.
All right, so the first exercise, you're going to either use 2 hand weights, which I think Lyndsay's going to start out with. She's using 2 5-pound weights. If you don't have 2 hand weights, you can use a heavier medicine ball. This is an 8-pound medicine ball. If you don't have a medicine ball, you can use a bag of flour, a sack of potatoes.
Your 6-week-old child.
Your 6-week-old child.
Support the head. Make sure you support the head.
Support the head. Anything that has a little bit of weight. So this is we'll show you what it looks like, then we're going to do 2 sets of 6. So you're going to hinge forward into a running position, into that touch position. From there, we're going to do a row. And then we're going to let the weights come down. We're going to come up to a running position, weights up to our shoulders. Nope, we're not going to press overhead yet.
Dang it.
So from there, we're going to do a reverse lunge. And then we're going to come up and press really quickly. So let's do one more as an example. We're going to hinge forward. We're going to do a row, bring the shoulder blades back. Weights come down, come up to your running position, weights to the shoulder. And then we're going to do a reverse lunge, come up quick. Bang! Getting shot out of a cannon. Don't fall over like that.
Don't do that.
So we're going to do a set of 6 on each side, 2 times through. We'll take a little bit of a break in between the first set and the second set. So let's grab our 2 weights or grab our 1 weight. If we're using a medicine ball, it looks very similar. We're going to hinge forward. We're doing the row. We're going to come up to a running position. We're going to reach back. Then we come up. We press the weight up over our head. So that's what it looks like with this. Lyndsay will probably use this for the second round.
Yeah.
First round, let's go. Hinging forward, doing a nice row. Coming up, weights to the shoulders. Lunge back, make sure you're balanced in that lunge position before you shoot yourself up. We want you to come up nice and quick. So row, shoulder blades come back, open the chest, come up, check in with your running position, reverse lunge, up and press nice and quick. Really try to maintain that balance. And you can't see it, but Lyndsay's doing a really good job when she has that weight over her head. She's not leaning back, she's keeping her chest up and forward. That's what we want to see. That's going to help you really get into the glute on that standing leg, which is imperative for us runners. So this is 4?
4.
We have 2 more.
Yep.
So this is really going to challenge the balance on the standing leg. It's going to challenge glute and hamstring strength. It's challenging quad strength in that reverse lunge. A lot of core strength, a lot of stability. This is a very robust exercise, similar to what we've been doing in the more recent weeks in this balance and functional cluster. So that was 6. So she's going to transition over. Not much of a break. We want to keep the heart rate a little bit high here. We want to keep her a little bit fatigued. Being fatigued is going to make it a little bit harder to do the exercise, a little bit harder to maintain your balance, and harder to maintain your focus. So sometimes we like to try to keep some fatigue in the system to challenge all of those attributes. And this has been Lyndsay's weak leg for the first 5 weeks, and it's looking quite a bit better at this point.
It is.
It's more stable, it's not sloppy, she's able to maintain her balance a little bit better. It's really good progress. And Lyndsay was saying off camera just before we started this, that she feels like she's been getting quite a bit stronger and quite a bit more flexible and quite a bit more stable but every week things are getting harder, so it makes her feel like even though she's making progress, she continues to be challenged. And that's actually what we want you to feel. We want you to feel like you're making progress, but we continue to challenge you. So it should never feel totally easy. Did I sum that up?
Yeah.
You want to add anything or?
No. Not my arms. Just my right hip.
All right, so we'll take a little bit of a break. We don't need to rush right into it. So Lyndsay's now going to use her medicine bowl or a sack of flour. Or she can use me. You want to use me as a 6-month-old baby?
Yeah. You're balding. Mine first. Okay.
All right, so here we go. Another set. Row. Come up. Ball to the chest. Reverse lunge. Coming up quick out of that position. So that should be nice and fast. As we said, increasing contraction velocity is getting us a little bit closer to power, which is kind of what we're trying to focus on here in week 6. We're still going to maintain some strength work into this program in week 6, but we will do a little bit more power work at the end than we did in week 5. She's coming up nice and long, nice and strong, nice and stable. She's breathing well. Coming up nice and quick. Good work. What number are we on? Is this 6?
This is 6.
This is 6. So she's keeping her chest nice and forward. She's not leaning back. That's really good. Switch over to the other side. Row, bring those shoulder blades back, open the chest. Reach back, drive up, nice and tall, nice and stable. Two. Ooh, get fatigued.
Jinx it.
All right, so she's breathing. I don't know if you can hear from your TV, but she's maintaining a really nice breath rate. She's not holding her breath. She's probably working on pelvic floor cueing.
Yep.
Being a good model. She's practicing what she preaches.
6.
6. Good work. So we'll take a little bit of a break between this one and the next one. So we're going to use an unstable surface. As I said, you can use a cushion from your couch or some folded up towels. Anything else? Folded up blanket.
A pillow, mattress.
Yeah. So just something that makes your footing a little bit more unstable, which is going to make you work a lot harder.
Folded up yoga mat works really well.
Folded up yoga mat. There we go.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. So what this looks like, we're going to be balancing. So let's balance. So we're going to do in this balanced position just 8 runner touches. So hinging forward.
Regular one.
Coming up. We'll do a demonstration first, then we'll go. So hinging forward, coming up, maintaining balance. We're going to do that 8 times. You can tell how much harder this is for her to balance. So she's going to have to do a toe touchdown every once in a while with this right leg. That's going to be okay. It's going to be okay for you as well. We're going to do 8 of these, and after that, we're going to go into 8 straight reverse lunge. Come up, and we're going to balance intentionally for about 2 seconds when we come up. Balance for about 2 seconds before we go back. 8 touches, 8 reverse lunges, and then we're going to switch legs. We're just doing this one time because we have a lot of strength and power work still to do.
Okay. Ready.
And already feeling it. So we're going to do a set of 8. And you can limit your range a little bit. If you feel like you're really unstable and you need to limit your range, that's fine. Limit your range. If you feel like you can go into a full range of motion and really reach down towards your toe, almost touching the ground, feel free. And also, it's pretty smart to have your shoes off for this as well. So we're trying to take away your support. So we're taking away your footwear that gives you a lot of nice architectural support. We're also taking away the firmness of the ground, which gives you a lot of support as well. So now you're barefoot on an unstable surface. You might start to feel some burning through the bottom of your foot. You might feel burning through your calf. You might feel like your glutes are working exceptionally hard. All of those things are totally reasonable. If you feel like your arch is really starting to cramp and it's painful, then take a quick break, stretch it out a little bit, and then go straight back to the exercise. So you can tell that she's working quite a bit harder to maintain her stability. So we've done more complicated exercises in week 4 and week 5, but now we are making the exercise less complicated, but we're making it far more challenging by changing the surface.
Woo! That one burns.
That one burns, apparently.
Okay.
Switching legs. Try not to take much of a break. So any small little instability that you might have in one of your legs will likely be magnified by the unstable surface. So once you feel like you're starting to make really good progress, like Lyndsay has clearly been making really good progress on this right leg, starting to add the unstable platform, we'll then start to kind of get back into the challenge that we really want to continue to improve upon. Lyndsay's doing great. Normally when I tell her she's doing great, it knocks her off balance. We'll see what just happened. Touch her toe down. So we do a set of 8, nice and slow, making sure that we pause in that running position, make sure that everything is nice and stacked up, everything's nice and tall, that glutes engaged. And then from there, we're going to go into 8 reverse lunges. We're going to do a nice intentional pause in that running position, make sure that we're on top of that foot. We're going to do a set of 8 of these. If you feel like you want to do 2 sets, feel free. But remember, we have quite a bit of strength work and power work still to do. 8. Good job. All right. Who are we wearing now?
Bekele.
Bekele. Who's Bekele?
Bekele has the current world record in the 5K and 10K and won the gold in 5K, 10K in 2008 Olympics.
Exactly. And is a couple seconds off the world record in the marathon.
Yeah.
Another one of the best runners in the world. Bekele and Mo Farah were the 2 best ever. All right, so we're going to work in our strength series right now. So we're going to go back and do some things that we've done previously. And we're going to add some new elements for complexity to another exercise that we've done previously. So we're going to do Tabata squats, which is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Yeah. So Lyndsay's going to use a box just to gauge how deep she goes. She's going to do 20 seconds, as many squats as she can, 10-second break, another set of 20 seconds of squats, as many as she can, 10-second break, and then we're going to go into our lunge ladder, which we did last time. We're going to be in a lunge position. We're going to come down. We're going to do 5 pulses, come up, back down, 10 pulses, back up, back down, 15 pulses, 10-second break, switch, 5, 10, 15 ladder in the lunge position. And then we're going to go straight to rear foot elevated single leg squats. This is what we have done in previous weeks. So you're going to have one foot up on an elevated surface. Lyndsay's going to be holding on to some weights. She has 2 5-pound weights. Yeah. She's going to come down into the squat. She's going to do a heel lift, come up, heel lift, down, heel lift, up, heel lift. We're going to do 8 of those on each leg 2 times through. If you want to use weight, use weight. If you want to add that heel lift, go ahead and add the heel lift. If you don't want to add the heel lift or the weight, then don't do it. It's your prerogative. So here we go. Lyndsay's going to keep track of the time. 20 seconds of Tabata squats, 10-second break, 20 more seconds of Tabata squats.
3, 2, 1, go.
Here we go. 20 seconds all the way down, all the way up. Make sure when you come up, you press the pelvis forward so you're not ending back here. You want to come all the way up, drive forward and down, up and down. Keep those knees over your feet. Don't let the knees dive in. Make sure you're breathing. 20 seconds, as many as you can.
Done.
10-second break, keep track.
I'm on it. It's not very long.
We're going to do another 20 seconds of squats.
And go.
You're probably going to feel very fatigued after this week 6. This is as hard as Lyndsay's been breathing. And I know that she's been doing her work. But the intention is that week 6 should be considerably harder than week 1 and just a little bit harder than week 5.
Done.
So we hope you feel this. So 10-second break. Then we're going to go into our lunge ladder. So we're going to be in that lunge position. When Lyndsay's ready, she's going to go down into the lunge. She's going to do 5 pulses, come up quick, 10 pulses, up quick, 15 pulses, 10-second break as we transition.
This is 10.
And 15. This is going to burn. This is going to burn that front leg. Most of your weight should be on the front leg. About 80% of the weight should be on the front leg. You shouldn't be leaning back into that back leg.
10 seconds.
So after 10 seconds, we're going to do the lunge ladder in the other position. And then we're going to go into 2 sets of 8 of those rear foot elevated single leg squats.
5.
So she's coming up very quickly and going straight back down into it. We're not pausing up top. We're just going to come up, then right back into it.
13, 14, 15.
Good work. We'll take about a 10-second break. Might be a little bit longer because we have to grab our weights. We're going to go into...
Which way do you want me facing?
Let's face this way. Rear foot elevated, single leg squats. She is going to come down. We're doing this 8 reps. She's going to do a heel lift, up, heel lift, down, heel lift, up, heel lift. When we're in that squatted position to do a heel lift, we're really trying to isolate the soleus muscle, which is a muscle that we have an increase in awareness has a huge role in Achilles tendonitis issues and in creating some biomechanical kind of aberrations within your running mechanics. So we need to keep the soleus strong. So this bent knee calf raise is very intentional, and it is going to be fairly challenging. It might not be something that you've done before. So she's switching. She's going to do 8 on the other side, adding that heel lift on both the squatted position and the standing position. She's going to do a set of 8 on each side, and she might take a little break. She might not. If you don't need a break, then go straight into it. You're going to be fatigued, and the leg might still be burning. But if you can work that strength endurance, then that's going to be a really good thing. So take as little break as you need to in between the first and the second set of these rear foot elevated single leg squats.
We're rolling.
She's rolling.
We're going.
And Lyndsay continues to have her shoes off to work on foot strength. If you want to keep your shoes on, then keep your shoes on. And if you don't have 2 hand weights, you can always use that sack of potatoes or that pound or the bag of flour or a medicine ball, just holding it at your chest. That's totally fine. Or your 6-month-old child, if you support their head. These legs are starting to shake a little bit. She's starting to feel it. This is our last strength exercise. The strength section is going to be a little bit shorter because the power section is longer today than it was in week 5. And she'll be gassed by the time she's done. Her face is already turning red. Great. Fantastic. Good job. All right, last section of the last week. This is the denouement. Power. What are we wearing right now?
We're wearing a lot of things. Go Ducks. We're wearing Galen Rupp's shorts and his spikes.
There we go, Galen Rupp spikes.
Going
Galen
out with a bang.
These are old school split side shorts that show a lot of cheek.
Little action.
Little action. And then University of Oregon jersey that has signatures from a handful of guys that are now running professionally.
Yeah.
All right, power. We have 3 exercises. First one we're going to do is squat jumps. We'll go through all of it, and then we're all going to start together. So we're going to do 3 sets of 5 squat jumps. Lindsay's going to show you. Nice big jumps, nice and high. Jumping high, landing low. Doing 5 repetitive. We'll take a break. 5 more, take a break. 5 more, take a break. That's 3 sets of 5. Next, we're going to do 2 sets of 10 runner jumps. Last week we used the box where she was just driving up. We're going to do 2 sets of 10. She'll do 1 set of 10 on the box. You can use a stair, a step. You can use like a curb, something. If you don't have a step, what we didn't tell you last time is you can just do it on the ground. You just basically get into a lunge position, driving up, trying to get some air. So she'll do the first set of 10 on the box, second set of 10 she'll do on the ground. Last thing is split jumps. We're going to do 2 to 3 sets of 10. She's going to do 3 sets because she's an animal. So we're going to be in a lunge position, and then we're going to jump up and switch, jump up and switch. 1, 2, 3, alternating back and forth, 10 total, 3 sets. That's our power series. Lindsay's already breathing hard. You haven't even started yet. So we will start with the squat jumps, 3 sets of 5. And here we go. Get nice and high, land nice and deep. Make sure that the knees are staying over the feet. Don't let the knees dive in. Set of 5, we'll take a little bit of a breather. We'll let Lindsay dictate how much of a rest we get.
We'll do 10 seconds or so.
We'll do 10 seconds or so, she says. That might increase as we get deeper into this. So getting nice and high, really driving the pelvis forward as you come up. So don't leave your pelvis behind you as you jump. Drive the pelvis forward and get nice and high. That's the second set of 5. We have 1 more set of 5. Trying to get nice and high, trying to land nice and soft, make sure we get deep. And we're trying to just bounce right off the ground. So we're not spending much time in the squat position. We're trying to make this plyometric and dynamic. Take a little bit of a break. We're going to do our 2 sets of 10 runner jumps. She'll do the first set of 10 on the box. She'll do the second set of 10 on the ground.
Ready?
And let's go for it. And she's jumping nice and high, driving that knee up and forward, driving that knee forward. It's hard in the spikes.
Yeah.
Those are probably about 5 sizes too big for her anyway. So she's really increasing the challenge here. So driving that back leg forward is going to help you drive the plant leg into the ground. She's doing a set of 10 on one side. She'll take a quick break. Then she'll do a set of 10 on the other side in her super over length spikes.
They're probably 2 inches too big.
But they just reek of speed because they're wheeling reps.
Yeah. Couldn't say no.
4, 5, nice. 6. Just get some power out of this right leg. She's been putting in the work. Now this right leg is looking pretty good. Very nice. 10?
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to do another set of 10. She is going to choose to do it on the ground like you can do at home if you don't have a box. So when she is ready in her oversized shoes, in her high split old school Galen Rupp shorts, and a University of Oregon singlet, she's going to go into it. Doing a set of 10 on one side, then we'll switch to a set of 10 on the other side. Really try to hold down. She's losing her coordination. Really trying to drive that knee forward. Oh, she is getting fatigued. Week 6 is tough. Week 6 is tough. And she'll do the other side, a set of 10. This is the last set. She's getting even more air on the right side than she is the left side. Right leg is winning today for the first time in 6 weeks. So she's swinging her arm, swinging the knee. All right, that was the second set of 10. We'll take a little bit of a longer break right now. We're going to get into our last exercise, which is the split jumps. We're going to do 3 sets of 10. If you want to do 2 sets of 10, do 2 sets of 10. If you want to do 1 set of 10, do 1 set of 10. If you already feel gassed and you don't want to do it at all, then wait until the next time you do it this week, or do it next week or the following week, however long you're kind of piecing these installments together.
Hey.
Do you have a joke or something, or you just want to go into it?
Where's it going?
No, she's just going right into it. All right, first set of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. We're going to take a quick break. And this time she's going to try to get even higher during those transitions, which means she has to drive a little bit more force into the ground. Second set of 10, a little bit higher. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at that air. One more set. And then home free.
All right, last one.
Here we go. Last set of 10. 10.
Woo!
And we're done. Thank you all
Good job, guys.
for joining us and playing with us. We hope you had as much fun doing this as we had making it.
Good job, Dave.
Good work.